Flavor Flav had no idea what he was getting into. I bet you he's never even seen the show.
Really could be her first perfect score. And it was going to be.
She is better than everybody else in this competition, whether you like her or not.
I literally wrote, okay, kebab in my notes. Like,
Me too! Welcome back. It was Rock and Roll Hall of Fame night.
Interesting.
It was giving me flashbacks and not in the best way.
Not in a good way. The theme was a lot better than hair metal night last year. We had a wider range of kinds of songs, which I appreciated. I actually really liked the songs. Once again, though, we had an annoying, I'm gonna say frustrating guest judge experience, though.
Yeah.
I'm so frustrated.
Flavor Flav, who neither of us had ever heard of.
No.
Not to say that he's not relevant, just saying like we had no idea who he was. Apparently he's a rapper.
Well accomplished.
To our knowledge, has zero dance experience.
I bet zero. Other than, I mean, I know he's had music videos because someone in the chat said Ezra was in one of his music videos, which is super cool. Therefore, he knows Jordan because he made Jordan Childs a medal when she lost hers after the Olympics. I think that's kind of funny that he's a semi-relationship with Ezra and then also Jordan.
Dude only used 2 paddles tonight.
We didn't go below a 9.
He gave pretty much 10s to everything except for a couple of 9s.
I'm particularly frustrated about 1 9.
Yes, as are we all, I believe. I felt like every time he was like asked to comment, critique, like give notes, I don't think he really had any idea of what to say.
No.
He just kind of talked in circles. Honestly, him talking, it reminded me of like the 13-year-old boys that I work with in the summertime.
Yeah, and he like, it would take him forever to like say something and he'd like not really know. I'm like, we run a tight ship on Dancing with the Stars. We never have enough time on the show. It stresses me out. It was like 9:59. The show ends at 10 and we haven't even gotten to the elimination yet. And this dude is taking this sweet time to say absolutely nothing. Stresses me out.
Not the best guest judge experience.
No.
Also, the fourth guest judge we've had in a row. And we have another one next week that is yet to be announced. By the time this comes out, it's been announced. But
we currently don't know who it is. It better be someone good because it's someone for the 20th anniversary celebration of Dancing with the Stars. So like it's going to be a really big deal, blah, blah, blah. It should be a good judge.
We can put whoever it is if we know who it is by the time we're editing.
We've had some great guest judge experiences, but there's so many of them.
I just don't understand why we have to have a guest judge every single week. Like,
I don't like it.
I like a guest judge when it's special. Once or twice a season and it's like a special thing. But the fact that it's every single week, it's ridiculous.
I want the judges panel back and I want some consistency in scoring. We were a little all over the place tonight.
To start off the show, we had Dylan, and he did a jive. I was nervous about Dylan with a jive.
I was stressed out.
He did really well.
No, yeah. The like list came out with the list of styles and songs or whatever. Like Dylan jive. Like I just can't picture this dude doing a jive. Exceeded my expectations. I mean, I wish he had more energy and it was a little slow, but he was doing some footwork.
Yeah, he definitely could have had a bit more energy, I think. I think he also is still having a little bit of that issue of like sticking his butt out. And again, I think it's the height thing. I think he's always trying to get down to Danny. And like, 1, he doesn't really need to. And 2, if he does, he needs to do it in his knees. His scores.
Oh my god.
I mean, it was the first one of the night. I think Flavor Flav had no idea what he was getting into. I bet you he's never even seen the show. Carrie Ann gave him an 8. Derek gave him a 9. Bruno gave him a 9. And Flavor Flav gave him a 10.
Wild.
Dylan's first 10, by the way. We had many people's first 10s tonight.
Yeah, and some first 9s as well. And this is when I was like, okay, so is everyone gonna get like a 10?
Out of the gate, we were like, oh boy.
This is gonna be interesting. And so therefore, we said in our video last week that we were gonna start seeing perfect scores this week. This is before we knew there was gonna be a guest judge. So then we got this thrown in the mix. And I was like, okay, so we're gonna get some high scores because he's just throwing out a 10 to Mr. Dylan. And then
I think he realized when everybody was so shocked at that and on the other judges' scores that he was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Alex should have gone first, I feel like, and we wouldn't have this issue.
Alex's pasta doble was beautiful. It was sharp, it was strong, it was a classic pasta. It was so good.
I loved it, and I knew I was like, we have a passo from Alex to a song that I love that is a powerful song. I was like, this is going to be, this could, unless she like really messes up or has some kind of mistakes, this really could be her first perfect score, and it was going to be.
But Mr. Flavor Flav didn't know what he was doing and gave her a 9, while all the other judges gave her 10s.
Like, yeah, I feel like he was like, oh, I shot too far up with Dylan, so we're gonna go down with Alex.
He's just throwing numbers out there. Like, he doesn't know anything about dance. He's looking at it, he's like, that was fun. 10.
I can't. And I want to know the conversation that is happening, like, after the show, probably currently, between Alex and Val, because I'm sure they're frustrated and upset. In my mind, this is a perfect score dance.
I just don't understand, like, how did we not learn from last year?
Yeah, last year was a hot mess. No one on the cast enjoyed it. The judges didn't enjoy it.
If you don't know what we're referring to, we had hair metal night last year, and the guest judge was Gene Simmons from Kiss.
It was a disaster.
The worst guest judge I've ever seen. I mean, his scores were absolutely all over the place, and it was very noticeable that he was pretty much scoring just based on how hot he thought the women were.
It was horrible, and like the whole cast talked about how horrible it was. And I'm like,
He was not as bad as Gene Simmons, but he still clearly was in no place to be judging a ballroom competition.
And I know that's frustrating for the contestants, because this is the point where the scoring becomes like more so important, and they're really trying to get those like little bump ups to the 10 that they're reaching for, or the 9.
Because everybody's so close with each other.
It's like every kind of point counts, and when you have things just being thrown around like this, like Dylan's 10, it doesn't really mean anything. Alex's 9 shouldn't exist. This should be a perfect score because all the other judges gave it a perfect score. But like in terms of weights of if they're gonna stay, if those points count, they hold weight to it. And so like the fate of these contestants are in Flavor Flav. It's in like their fate in the show could be in his hands. And those are not responsible hands for this ballroom competition. Anyways.
So Alex should have gotten a perfect score, only to be followed up with Andy's contemporary, which I never thought we'd see the day for that.
And he did like some lists. Warranted they were not complicated lists, but he was holding Emma and spinning around as she was like this, which was impressive for Andy.
What were his feet doing while he was spinning Emma in circles?
I was watching Emma, to be completely frank. It
was very simple. There wasn't a whole lot of content. It was sweet. It was cute. It was easy and nothing special. And
I adore that he got to have that moment. He cried in his package. The dance was about him and Emma's friendship, which I thought was beautiful. I thought the sentiment was beautiful. He cried in his package about like his journey on the show, and I think he's had a lot of impact on fans, and he's grown a lot personally, which I admire and appreciate. But again, this would have been a great dance to like go out on. I say this every single week, and we're still here in the same exact situation.
And not only are we still here, but Andy got a 9.
And guess who it's from?
From Mr. Flavor Flav over here. 7s and a 9. Like, come on. You don't have to be a dance expert to watch that and realize that it's not worthy of a 9.
But it also just shows like he has no idea anything about this show. The first, again, the Dylan's dance, like after Dylan goes, like after he goes, you have to put in your score. He didn't know how to do that, and Karian was like, hold on, like don't lock it yet because I have to go help him put in his score. And then he was struggling with the I'm like, did no one show him how to judge? I mean, he's a guest judge this week because he's being inducted into like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this weekend, which is the theme of tonight. On par. Makes sense.
Doesn't mean we have to have a guest judge though. Like we had two bands perform live.
We can just promo that and not have him as a guest judge because it's frustrating for all parties involved.
Somebody in our comments, which I did know this, that they said Cynthia Revo was a guest judge on the panel for Strictly Come Dancing, but she wasn't allowed to score. She gave notes, she gave feedback, but she wasn't allowed to actually input a score that went towards their overall score.
What's he gonna do next? Like, I feel like we're scraping the bottom of the barrel of dance styles that we can give to Andy. And there's a dance relay next week. I don't know how he's going to fare.
But it seems like that it doesn't really matter how good he does. He is always gonna get the votes. Anyway, Whitney and Mark also did a Paso Doble, and everybody in the comments was hating.
I loved this.
I loved it. It was outstanding. It was clean. It was sharp. It was very classic. It was so good. And y'all that are out here claiming favoritism,
If anyone else did this dance, you would be obsessed with it.
she's good. She is better than everybody else in this competition. Whether you like her or not, whether there is favoritism or not, she is still the best out there. You can't deny that. Alex is coming up quick on her heels, and Whitney has had some missteps. I think she was scored fairly for those missteps she's had in the past couple weeks. So stop going out here hating on her, hoping she does horribly, and then when she does well, calling it favoritism. It's not favoritism. She just is good.
I do agree a little bit with Carrie Ann gave it a 9. Everyone else gave it a 10. There was a very noticeable stumble at the end because they showed it in slow-mo. Whitney has a ton of power and energy that sometimes I do feel like it can throw her off balance a little bit. But like this was still insane. There was so much like passion and like power behind her movements. The creativity was so cool, and I feel like Mark was really up there with passion and power of this dance, and Whitney met him there, and it was such a cool like conversation between them. There was so much energy to it that I absolutely love.
Carrie Ann even said, she's like, I can't go without pointing it out. She's like, the dance was phenomenal, but there was a misstep and I can't go without pointing that out and holding you accountable for it. And she gave her a 9. So fair. The fact that the other judges didn't catch that, also fair. Poor Danielle. This one hurts. I kind of saw it coming, but boy, I just love her so much. She's such a bright light. I think she's just like the sweetest human. She went home tonight.
It wasn't her strongest, but she got 2 9s for it.
She got 2 9s, 2 8s. I just felt like there was moments where I noticed some bent legs when they should have been straight.
The lift was a little wonky.
I think it lacked energy too. I think she was in her head a lot.
I do feel like it was a nice one to go out on. Like, it was meaningful for her. So, and she said she called this dance very therapeutic, and she like almost cried like afterwards when she was talking about it. So I'm really glad that she had that. Like, it sucks that she goes home because she's so, I just love her.
But I figured that she would be going soon.
I asked the chat who should go home, and I said it was either gonna be Andy or Danielle, it seemed. And Andy's still here. So.
Still waiting for the double elimination.
I will say it would be brutal to do that on like the Dancing with the Stars 20th birthday thing. I feel like that wouldn't be good.
But then after that, it's just semifinals.
I could see them sending 2 people home on semis.
I just really hope we're not going to finale with 5 couples again. We can't be doing that. Elaine making her comeback this week with a Viennese waltz.
She's back.
My first note was injury. Where?
Oh, this was beautiful.
You could not tell she was injured. I did feel like the choreography was simple. It just like wasn't as challenging as everybody else's, which is totally fair because she was injured and she had less rehearsal time and had to rehearse the team dance. So like, I don't blame her.
No.
But that's just like my reasoning for feeling like it's not on the same level as...
It's not like Alex or Whitney's, where I feel like they nailed some like difficult choreography. What I really loved about this, because the Avini's, was you can really see how the extensions of like the arms, like you really use your full thing. And I remember like first few weeks she was on here, that's when I wanted to see more of her, was like actually use like her full range of movement and like have energy come out of her. And she did that in this, which I was so thrilled to see. Like, I know it was more simple choreo, but so was like the first few weeks when she wasn't doing this. But like, I feel like in terms of that, she's grown and improved a lot. Like, she was a good dancer to start out with. She was a dancer until she got hit by a car.
Huh?
Is that not Elaine's story? Am I confusing it with someone else's?
I mean, you might be right, but I don't remember anything about anyone getting hit by a car.
Someone got hit by a car. Okay, I swear.
You may be totally right. I just do not remember anything about anyone getting hit by a car.
I'm pretty sure Elaine's story is that she was originally a dancer, but then she, like when she was young, got hit by a car, and that was the end of her dance career. So then she was an actress.
I do remember her saying that she was a dancer when she was younger, but I thought that her story was just that like when she got into acting, dance kind of fell to the back burner.
And I'll fact check myself on here, and I'll put it on the video in the screen. I'll put like a ding check mark or X or something.
Okay. I believe you. I just don't remember that.
But it's so like, I don't even remember why I was talking about that, but I just feel like in terms of that, oh, I remember, it's because she was a good dancer at the beginning weeks, but I feel like she could use her full range of movement more. I'm seeing that from her completely now, and I think it's really fun.
Overall in this competition, she's doing so much better than I expected from the beginning.
I love her.
And I'm very impressed. So.
I feel like she's like one of the most improved, where like you weren't expecting that.
She got 3 9s and a 10 from Flavor Flav. Her first 10.
Yeah.
Which was deserved. But
I'm happy she got a 10, even though it wasn't a difficult dance. I think after a rough week last week,
I think she would have gotten 10s last week if she had done the dance in person. So, sure.
And I'm making up for last week. Jordan
did a jazz. And I even said, I was like, I hope that this jazz gives me everything I was hoping that the contemporary was going to give me and didn't last week. And boy, did it. We had flips. We had energy. I knew that Ezra was going to do a great jazz because that's just right up his alley.
The choreo was phenomenal. Absolutely.
It was so good. And talk about, like, if I were to name, like, the most entertaining dance of the night, this one.
It was jam-packed. The choreo was good. We got her flippies that I was expecting last week.
She was embodying Tina Turner, and I felt that. I felt like she was so confident out there with this dance.
I mean, the biggest thing in their rehearsal was that Ezra was like, you have to perform in your face. You have to. And I definitely feel like she could have done that more. I know it's hard. She's like, this does not come naturally to me, and it does not for a lot of the gymnasts on this show. Because
gymnasts are so used to like not, like it doesn't matter what your face looks like, so most, like we perform very serious and focused.
She's definitely getting there. And the choreography was, like, the way she executed it, I thought was really good.
It was fabulous.
Really good.
It was so good. She got 2 10s and 2 9s. I thought that was fair. Last dance of the night before our team dances, Robert did a paso doble. I was so excited for this. I felt like paso doble was gonna really sit with him very well.
Ugh.
And boy, did it.
Oh,
this was so good.
Gosh.
There was a little bit of a timing thing at the beginning that I noticed, which I think is what Derek and Carrie Ann kind of pointed out. But that was like in the like beginning entry part. Once he got with Whitney.
Oh my gosh. I thought it was complicated.
The kip up.
Oh my gosh, that was so impressive.
I was like, okay, kip up. I didn't know he could do that.
I wrote, okay, kip up in my notes. Like,
me too.
And then Derek said the same thing.
I was not expecting that. No, this was so good.
It was complicated. It was well executed. I thought it was right up his alley, like lots of power. He could fuel like his energy into this.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't as uptight as, like, maybe the tango, which he did a phenomenal job with, but he could, like, use more of his body and the energy, and I just, oh, it was so good.
He was putting his all into this, and you could tell.
I love Passos. I just love them. They're just full of energy and, like, serious power. It's just my absolute favorite.
So, bravo, Robert. If it wasn't for the little the little timing issue,
it could have been
a perfect score. We didn't get any perfect scores. We really thought that we were gonna get a perfect score tonight.
With Flavor Flav or whatever, I really thought we were gonna get it. But yeah, no one so far. I swear if we don't see one next week, I don't know what to say.
That'll be interesting. If we don't see any until semifinals,
that's crazy, especially with this group. But I do think it's kind of anyone's game, and I feel like it could come down to just like the order of the performance for who gets the first one.
We had team dances tonight.
Yeah,
which I love team dances.
I usually do. I'm reminiscing about Team Goofs last year. I just loved it.
I liked last year's team dances, but I think in general, this was not my favorite of team dances.
I was let down quite a bit from both of them.
I still had fun.
I definitely had higher expectations.
Both had live bands playing. We had Team Chicago go first, which was captained by Danielle. And it was Danielle, Whitney, Jordan, and Dylan. And I think we all expected that they were going to do better simply because they didn't have Andy.
Because they've got to be, like, the choreography is not going to be as complicated for the team dances. They never are. But the big thing about them is they've got to be together or it just looks messy.
And then they also had Alfonso because they put Alfonso and Julianne into each group. Which I will say, that is one of the things that I think really threw it off. Having this random extra person.
Because you usually have like a section where it's just like all the pairs dancing together. I'm like, what are we supposed to do? It made it feel
disconnected. Yeah,
I didn't like it. No offense to like Julian and Alfonso. I love seeing them dance. I love it. I get so excited watching them do a little dance. Like, but not in the team dances.
They always have some rules for the team dances. Each pair has to have like their own little solo moment, and also that normally it's that all the stars have to do a dance section, just the stars without their pros, but because Julianne and Alfonso were there, they had to do it with Julianne and Alfonso, so like it was just the stars and Alfonso for a moment, which again just like kind of felt kind of weird because of the odd number and stuff.
It felt a little jumbled.
I did feel like Team Chicago was very in sync with each other. I thought it was very clean. It looked super well rehearsed. Of course, there's no particular style. They're dancing like a whole bunch of different styles throughout it, so it's kind of hard to judge that. I did like their choreography. I liked their shapes.
Like the all black outfits, the choreography was sharp, like just very classy, very good. Versus the other one, I just felt I didn't quite know where to look.
Yeah, Team Cool was Andy, Robert, Elaine, and Alex. As we kind of expected with Andy there, he was just out of sync the whole time. And I think a lot of the choreography was simpler so that Andy could do it. And I think if it wasn't for Andy, they would have been able to do more complicated choreography.
Sometimes they were just like running around like holding hands like in a circle or something.
It still got 2 10s for Team Cool. Team Chicago got a perfect score.
I will say I like Team Cool's package better. I thought it was really fun.
I thought it was really fun. I liked their song better too.
Like Chicago didn't really wow me that much.
It wasn't the best team dances that I've seen, but still love team dances. Obviously, the points from the team dances didn't really affect the elimination at all.
Which they usually do. Usually someone from the losing team goes home.
But Andy was safe yet again. And Danielle went home.
And Danielle was from the winning team. The team captain at that. I mean, team captains were Andy and Danielle, the lowest of the leaderboard, but still, like, who could go home next week if not Andy?
I'm really scared that he's gonna be in the finale.
Yeah, he very much could be, because, yeah, the scores are not affecting him at all, it seems.
The difference between him and, like, the next lowest person, that range just keeps getting, like, larger and larger and larger, and it does not seem to matter.
I don't know, like, I'm trying to pick out a person who could go home. Like, Whitney they keep throwing Whitney in the bottom, but, like, we don't know who's actually in the bottom. Because people really, as we've said,
people are trying to get Whitney to go home.
They're trying to get her to go home. And I'm like, if you've got the pull to keep Andy in here, then the people also might have the pull to get Whitney, who's at the top of the leaderboard, to go home.
The thing is that it's a lot easier to get, because I know that this is happening, it's a lot easier to convince all your friends to pull out their phones and vote Andy 10 times. It's a whole lot harder to get a whole bunch of people who have been voting for Whitney to suddenly stop. Because it's not like you can vote negative points. There's no actual voting off. You know, you're voting for people to stay. You can choose not to vote for people, but that's not really giving them any sort of direction towards going home necessarily.
It's Andy's time. I think he's had a good run.
If it's not him, it could be Dylan. It could be Elaine.
No.
So incredibly frustrated. I can't talk
And
about
I'm not shocked anymore.
Anyway, that was Rock and Roll Hall of Fame night. It was an interesting one. Next week is the Dancing with the Stars 20th birthday episode, which I'm really excited for. I assume that the dancers are going to be in some way paying homage to the 20 years on Dancing with the Stars. I know last year they had the 500th episode or something, and they had to, like, recreate a past dance, and I wonder if they'll do something similar to that for this. We have a guest judge coming, but they haven't said who yet. We have some special guests next week as well.
You should tune in to find out. It'll be a fun episode next week. Make sure you turn in. It'll be really fun.
It's gonna be an entertaining one.
Trust.
For sure.
Trust.
We're getting close to the end. We only have 3 left, I think, right?
That's crazy. It's really snuck up on us. Dang.
Yeah. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.